Alright guys, what's going on? I know it's been a while. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos on this channel, my name is Mike, aka the Treasure Gnome, and I sell online on eBay, on Amazon, merch by Amazon. I run a Shopify store and have some Udemy classes, a bunch of other stuff. I'm all over the place. But it's been a while, about a month now, so I really want to bring you guys an eBay update on some of the stuff that's been selling. If you followed my journey so far, there's a bunch of old videos. If you haven't, you can go back through the log and check them out. I listed about 1,000 items over the summer, and I still have about 400 live. And we're going to go over some of the stuff that sold throughout December. And I had the biggest sale of all time. I know I mentioned this maybe on Instagram. I don't know if it was Instagram or Facebook, but I'm going to show you the sale in this video also, which is pretty cool. Uh, so, getting right into this. I've been selling these for a while, but I had some that were kind of sitting that I bundled. Now, I remember a couple sales updates ago, I had told you guys sell them console only and part them out. And this is why, because the first couple I did list that I got from garage sales over the summer, this is probably back in August or September. I was allotting them like this, and they didn't sell as fast. I had to really, they didn't sell until I ran a 25% off sale, and they just sold much quicker when I, like, piece by piece, and I got more for the money from them like that, but it's okay, learning lesson, and hopefully this helps you guys out too. This is what my pictures look like, but walked away with $45 plus shipping, so $56. Yeah, $55 for that sale. Pretty good. You know, you can pick these things up for $5-10 at garage sales in the summer. We had a couple video games. Another one, Super Mario Brothers Wii. This was a good sale. For me, about $18. I charge shipping on all my items in my store. Pretty nice sale, you know. You can pick all these games up for a couple bucks at garage sales. That's the only place I would really recommend getting them. I guess you can get them at thrift stores if you're going to get them for a good price, but you rarely find like good games, and if you do find a good game, they're smart enough to jack the prices up to like $5-6. So there's not as much profit there, but you'll get all these video games like this Tetris one here. Like you'll be able to get them super cheap. And then it makes it worth it because you're going to get like 20-30 games for $1 a piece. Even though this one's sold on sale for about $7. If you have a buck into it, that's definitely worth it. It's super easy. These are super easy to list because you just sell similar and then snap the picture. Here's another one, Super Mario 3, all games that you guys have probably heard of. And if you see here at the listing, it gives you videos. When you sell these similar, it's really easy to sell these. And like I said, you can get these for a couple bucks usually in the garage. You have to really search for them. This is the early bird stuff. Like you really got to get there early for this. But when you do, you find a bunch of them, and it's really awesome when you can score a huge lot of games for like 15-20 bucks. Here's another one, NCAA 09. This was sitting for a while. I didn't even take a picture of this because it was the exact same as in the case original. All right, so back to the clothing, which you guys know I really like. I have 3 ties here that I'm going to show you. They're all Sarika Elite. Now, this isn't something I normally would pick up, but I bought these from a friend. They're super interesting, and they're high-end Italian silk ties. Hey, Ronnie. So here's what happened. I had them all listed for $19.99. And 1, 2, here's the second one, you know, really cool patterns on these 3. This one was super cool. This is basically how I take shots of my ties. I just kind of roll them and do a couple angles, show it like running down like a carpet, that, and then if there's a tag that says pure silk, I shoot that also. I sold all 3 of these to the same buyer right here. He offered me $15 a piece, so I sold them. It was $45 shipped to him, and it probably cost me $3 to ship it. So that was really that was a good deal to be made there. Now, this is a shoe that I always have known to look out for since my early days because I found one on on accident basically because they look nice. But these are really well made shoes. It's called, this is the tag you're looking for. There's called Flourishing, and like you'll be able to tell they have this old writing right here. They're kind of like stamped, all of them right here, and this is called the Flourishing Imperial, and it's a wingtip style. But some of these are different. And it's hard to say. Some of them have cleats. You have to look out for different things on these. But this is an older pair because it has a leather sole, so that's good. It looks like these may have been replaced, the heel, but a lot of times they have these are V cleats. If it's V cleats, they have these studs in them, and they're super valuable. It makes the shoe even more valuable. So keep an eye out for that because these can go. This one sold for $59. I took a best offer for. But if it's the V cleats or there's some different type of leathers it's made of, cardamom and stuff like that, but it's hard to tell what that is. But they can go up over $100, like $80 to $100 if you have some of the other features. But yeah, here's a brand that I really like. It's called the Territory Ahead. They're usually like all weird fabrics they're made of with interesting earthy patterns. I'm not really sure how to describe this brand, but it does pretty well, and yeah, it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for. I sold two of these. This one was I sold them both for a $21 best offer. So here's the first one, and here's the second one. And I think this is an example of something that was weird. Let's see. We'll see the fabric in this. This was almost like a fleece, cotton, polyester, flax. But yeah, this brand as well. It definitely has its own like little niche following of people that look for these shirts, and they're expensive to buy new. So good. The next one we have today is LL. I feel like I'm roll calling. This is funny, but is LL Bean, and this was a large. I wrote midweight flannel because it wasn't like a light one, and it wasn't like super thick. And sometimes that's good to describe to the buyer what it's actually like what it's like when you feel, so they can know the weight because they usually want it for winter. But this is a nice looking pattern here on the shirt. And LL Bean is doing really good right now for reselling. It's kind of coming back into being trendy for like the young generation is getting into it, I think. And the hiking, it's always been a great brand, but it's catching steam again from their marketing. So definitely good to look out for. This one only sold for 16, but you can usually pick these up super cheap, like $2 to $3. So if you're looking for a bread and butter brand or you're going through the bins, definitely pick up LL Bean stuff. It sells really well. Here's the second bundle I had. And I bundled this as like a Wii Sports bundle here. This one sold for a little more, $64. But like I said, it took a while to sell, and much longer than it did when I broke the console down and stuff like that. So like I said, I would definitely recommend parting these out and selling them by searching the model number. It's usually like RV1001 or something like that on each. There's an RV1 something, and if you do it that way, it lets you bring up a cell similar, and then you can actually promote the listing, like run ads so you get promoted up at the top. It's definitely worth it. It'll sell like within a few days that way. This is a cool one that I wanted to show. It was an older starter Dolphins. Now, if you have a good team that you're marketing these with, these usually do pretty well if you can pick them up good. This one sold for $30. It took a little while to do it because I think it was a large, but yeah, this is definitely something like really cool, almost like really cool print on that. You know, they don't make these anymore. Definitely keep an eye out for these. They'll bring you in good money if you can get them for like $5 or less. Okay, back to the Legos. I know I talked a lot about this summer, but this is basically the price I was selling these for was it looks like $18 a pound. Is that right? $9, $18 a pound I was selling these for, which seems like a lot. But hey, that's what I was selling it for. Um, yeah, pretty awesome. You can, I'm sorry for the pause. You can split up the shipping and stuff with these guys, but I sold 6 pounds. I sold like over 40 pounds of Legos over the summer, and it was really awesome because if you can pick up big bins of these, it's worth it. It's so worth it. So don't overlook Legos, and you know, my top tips would be if you didn't see, you can go back in my sales updates from like August and September. I sold minifigures for like crazy amounts. So pull out all the minifigures and list those separately. They'll go from like $5 to $80, some of them. And then just anything that you don't know, just throw it in a bulk and list it like this, and it'll sell. So definitely, Legos are awesome. This is a cool one that I wanted to show. This was, I definitely look out. I haven't been, you guys know I haven't been purchasing lately, but I definitely look out for these when I was at the store all the time. And basically, these are acrylic, like from the 80s and 90s, maybe even before 70s. But these are acrylic sweatshirts with crazy patterns. And anytime I saw something that was like really funky like this, I would purchase it. And usually they're like long forgotten, and you can get them on half off days. Some stores have tons of them, some don't. But every once in a while, I would find really awesome sweatshirts like this. I would if you can get them cheap enough, pick them up. They're gonna sit for a while, but you know, when the right buyer comes along, they'll do good in the winter. And I did a Periscope. If you guys aren't following me there, or if you're not on Periscope, I give stuff like on the fly, tips on the fly there that I don't on YouTube. So be sure to go follow me. I have a link down below in the description. But Harris Tweed is what I did a Periscope the other day saying this is my favorite brand to sell in the winter months, and it's far overlooked by resellers. So if you're out there, definitely don't overlook these. You can usually pick them up for like a really good price. They sell. They take a little while to sell. Sometimes you gotta wait for the right buyer, but you know they sell really like consistently $30 to $50 depending on the quality. So you price them on the quality, the condition, and the quality. If there's any tears, if the buttons are in immaculate condition, yeah, they're gonna pull a lot of money. And then if they have other features like elbow patches or shoulder patches, they can pull above 50 to $80, especially if they're matched with a good brand like Brooks Brothers or LL Bean and stuff like that. So uh, here's your tag right here. Definitely, if you see these, make sure you check them over good and be sure to pick them up because it definitely worth picking up. My favorite brand probably to resell in the winter for sport coats. And last but not least, this was my best sale of 2016. I took a best deal for this for $3.99. So I had it listed high for this was listed since July. So it took a while to find the right buyer. One, because it's a high price item, and two, because the size. So I had to, not only was it a high price item, but I had to wait for the right buyer to come along that would fit. So, you know, this is why you got to hold out on some of the high ticket items because lowering the price doesn't help. I had some low ball offers, like really low ball offers, and I passed them up because I knew someone would be looking for this at one point and they'd be willing to pay. Now, I would assume that I was probably getting offers from other people that were trying to resell because I didn't get an offer over $150. And I know if, you know, a buyer can pick that up and they bring it to some place like an inner city where they have flea markets and more buyers, they can demand even a higher price than this. So, long story short, really happy. Thanks, Dad, if you watch this video. This is my father's motorcycle jacket from when he was basically in high school, and we found it when we were clearing out the house, and he's like, I think he said, "Oh, that's junk." with a bunch of other stuff. Oh, you know that's not worth anything. And I was like, all right, you know, I'll check it out. This is pretty. Like when I saw this, I was like, this is pretty cool. It was dirty. I had to clean it, and it smelled a little bit like smoke, but it was still in really good condition. And yeah, it was pretty cool to see. Not something I would wear now, but plus it didn't fit me, or maybe I would have kept it. But it's pretty cool to see something like that we pulled out sell for that much money. So don't overlook that old stuff that's laying around, because here's proof that you can sometimes find things, you know, in the weirdest places. But that was the best clothing sale I've had ever on eBay. So happy to share that with you guys. Thanks for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe down below. We're about to hit 3,000 subscribers this month. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I'm going to continue doing these monthly updates. We're not doing the weekly stuff anymore, but monthly as we go. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.